Welcome to Jugrali Insights, where we uncover life's most valuable lessons through powerful stories. In today's video, we follow Emma, Chloe, and Riley, three friends who break free from their small-town routines for a secret road trip. What begins as an adventure quickly becomes a test of courage, trust, and resilience as they face the unexpected twists of the unknown. This isn't just a thrilling story, it's a journey packed with lessons about friendship, responsibility, and the choices that shape our lives. Stay with us as we explore the highs, the lows, and the takeaways from their incredible experience. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Jugrali Insights for more stories that inspire and teach us to live better every day. Emma, Chloe, and Riley, three college friends who did everything together, were bored with their small-town lives. One night in Emma's room, they hatched a plan to break free from their dull routines. Emma, always the adventurer, suggested a road trip to a cool mountain resort she'd read about in a travel magazine. Chloe, the practical one and the group's driver, wasn't sure at first, but Emma's excitement was contagious. Even Riley, who was cautious and a little shy, agreed. Though she knew her parents wouldn't approve, they made a promise. This trip would stay a secret. The idea of sneaking away felt thrilling, and they couldn't stop talking about what they'd see. Emma imagined stunning mountain views. Chloe dreamed about driving winding roads, and Riley, despite her worries, couldn't help but feel excited too. By the time they finished planning, they were more determined than ever to chase their little slice of freedom. At 7 p.m., the girls snuck out of their homes, their hearts racing with excitement. They loaded their bags into Chloe's old car, its creaky doors sounding louder than ever in the quiet neighborhood. With the GPS set and music blasting, they hit the road, singing and laughing as the dark highway stretched ahead. The world felt wide open, and their nerves melted away as they imagined the fun waiting for them. The farther they drove, the more their excitement grew. Even Riley, who had been hesitant, started to relax. Each mile felt like a step away from the ordinary, and they couldn't wait to see what the night would bring. A few hours in, their plans hit a snag. A road closed sign blocked their way. The GPS rerouted them to a narrow back road, surrounded by thick woods. It was spooky, but Emma joked it was like a scene from a horror movie. Chloe laughed nervously, while Riley kept peeking out the window, feeling uneasy. The road seemed to stretch on forever, twisting and turning deeper into the forest. The GPS kept glitching, and the trees' long shadows made it hard to see ahead. The car grew quieter as the girls started to feel the weight of the dark woods closing in. Soon their phones lost signal and the GPS stopped working. Chloe tried to stay calm as she drove, but everyone felt the tension. They debated going back, but decided to keep going, hoping they'd find a signal again soon. The road ahead was pitch black, and every sound outside the car made them jump. Emma tried cracking jokes to ease the mood, but no one laughed. Riley's nerves were showing, and Chloe tightened her grip on the steering wheel. Their carefree adventure was quickly turning into something much scarier. Relief flooded over them when they saw the flickering sign of an old gas station. They pulled in, but it was eerily quiet. The windows were cracked, and weeds had taken over the lot. Inside, Emma found a dusty, torn map pinned to the wall. Before they could figure it out, a noise in the bushes startled them, and they rushed back to the car. The map was barely readable, but it was their only hope. Chloe spread it out on her lap, trying to make sense of it as Emma and Riley nervously scanned the dark woods outside. Back on the road, they noticed headlights approaching from behind. At first, they thought it was another traveler, but the vehicle's erratic movements, speeding up, slowing down, and flashing its lights, soon turned sinister. Panic set in as Chloe accelerated, trying to lose the car. The mysterious vehicle mirrored their every move, staying uncomfortably close. When the road finally widened, Chloe swerved into a side lane, their hearts pounding as the headlights disappeared into the distance. The girls sat in stunned silence, their breaths ragged. They debated whether to stop and gather their thoughts or keep driving. Ultimately, they decided to push forward, knowing the sooner they reached their destination, the better. Each mile felt like a victory against the unknown threat. Just as they began to relax, a loud pop shattered the silence. Chloe pulled over to discover a flat tire. With no cell service and no idea where they were, the girls had no choice but to fix it themselves. Emma held the flashlight while Chloe and Riley worked on the tire, their hands shaking with fear. The surrounding woods seemed alive with rustling and faint whispers, but they forced themselves to stay focused until the tire was replaced. They quickly got back on the road, unwilling to linger. The ordeal left them visibly shaken, but it also strengthened their resolve. They spoke in hushed tones, recounting the events of the night and trying to reassure one another. The shadows seemed to press closer, but their determination to reach safety grew stronger with each passing moment. The road ahead seemed darker, and the woods pressed closer. As they drove, the unsettling sound of howling began to echo through the trees. It started faint, but grew louder and more persistent, as if something was following them. Riley gripped the door handle tightly, her eyes darting between the trees. Emma suggested they stay in the car no matter what, a suggestion they all silently agreed to. The howling grew so loud it seemed to vibrate through the car. Chloe tightened her grip on the wheel, pushing the car to its limits. The tension in the air was palpable, and every rustle outside felt like a prelude to something monstrous. The girls prayed silently, their fear uniting them in a moment of desperation. Eventually they reached a rickety old bridge spanning a foggy ravine. A weathered sign warned against crossing, but turning back wasn't an option. Chloe cautiously drove onto the bridge, the car's weight causing it to creak ominously. Halfway across, a loud crack made them freeze, but Chloe didn't stop. She pressed the gas, and they made it to the other side, just as a large plank fell into the ravine below. Once on solid ground, they pulled over to catch their breath. The near collapse of the bridge left them shaken, but also fueled by a renewed sense of survival. They comforted one another, vowing to press on despite the mounting challenges. As dawn approached, they spotted a small cabin with smoke curling from its chimney. Exhausted and desperate, they decided to ask for directions. An old woman answered the door, her piercing eyes studying them intently. She gave them a hand-drawn map and a lantern, her cryptic warning about avoiding the mountain, unsettling them. She urged them to leave quickly, her tone leaving no room for questions. The girls hesitated, debating whether to trust her. Her mysterious demeanor added to their unease, but the urgency in her voice convinced them to follow her instructions. They thanked her and set off again, clinging to the faint hope the map offered. Following the old woman's map, they navigated deeper into the wilderness. Shadows seemed to move among the trees, and the lantern flickered as if the darkness was trying to snuff it out. Emma screamed when she thought she saw a figure darting between the trees. Chloe drove faster, her knuckles white as they clung to the steering wheel. The tension in the car was palpable as the shadows seemed to chase them. Every sound felt amplified in the oppressive silence. Riley clutched the map tightly, guiding Chloe with trembling hands. Their unity became their anchor, each girl relying on the others to keep moving forward, despite their overwhelming fear. The map led them to a small, deserted town. The buildings were old and dilapidated, and the air felt heavy. They searched for help, but found only silence. As they explored, they discovered fresh footprints in the dusty streets, sending chills down their spines. Their sense of isolation deepened as they realized they were not alone. In one of the abandoned buildings, they found an old journal filled with cryptic entries about strange occurrences in the area. The entries spoke of missing travelers and unexplainable events, further fueling their paranoia. They left the town quickly, their fear propelling them forward. At a fork in the road, they argued over which path to take. The map was unclear, and their frustration boiled over. Choosing the left path, they soon found themselves ambushed by masked figures. The girls screamed and fought back, using their wits and anything they could find in the car. Their unity and quick thinking helped them escape the attackers, leaving them shaken but unharmed. The encounter left them physically and emotionally drained, but also more determined than ever. They leaned on one another for support, their bond tested and strengthened in the face of danger. The road ahead felt like a gauntlet, but they were determined to reach their destination. As the first rays of sunlight broke over the horizon, they found a main road leading to their destination. The sight of the resort in the distance brought tears of relief and joy. The rising sun felt like a beacon of hope, banishing the terrors of the night. They laughed and cried, their bond stronger than ever after surviving the harrowing journey. The warmth of the sun and the promise of safety renewed their spirits. They drove the final miles in reflective silence, grateful for the lessons learned and the strength they had discovered within themselves. At the mountain resort, they finally relaxed and reflected on their ordeal. Over steaming cups of coffee, they shared their thoughts and realized how reckless they had been. They vowed to never lie to their families again and to appreciate the rules meant to keep them safe. Their story became a cautionary tale, and though they returned home to face the consequences, they carried a newfound respect for honesty and caution. Their friendship, tested and strengthened by the journey, became unbreakable. Later that morning, they picked up their phones and hesitantly called their parents. Tearfully, they confessed everything: the secret trip, the dangers they faced, and how close they had come to real harm. Their parents, though angry and worried, were relieved to hear their voices and promised to come and get them. As they waited for their families to arrive, the girls felt a sense of relief and closure. They knew the journey home would be a different kind of trip, one filled with gratitude and the comfort of knowing they were finally safe.
Thanks for watching. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts. Hit subscribe and ring the bell to join Jugrali Insights for more life lessons and inspiring stories. See you in the next video.